Telisha McKenzie, another Anatomy of Automation student, joins me today to share her story. And I'm really excited to be able to chat with all of my students and bring Telisha with you to share her story. Telisha, how are you?
Hi, I'm absolutely fine. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Tell us where you are, introduce yourself a little bit, and just give us a bit about your journey before you came online.
Okay, so my background is I'm actually a trained dancer, and then I became an executive assistant so I could bring in some income. Working full time, it was completely soul sucking. I did not like it at all. And then I had my two children, my two young children, and it got to the point where I needed to start thinking about what I was going to do to bring in some money. But I desperately did not want to go back into employment. I just did not want to be dealing with the office politics and all that stuff. So I decided to start online. And the original idea was to start providing executive assistant support, but virtually. So I started to set it up, and then I realized that actually I just wasn't aligned with that kind of work. There's nothing wrong with it. It just didn't feel right to me. And then I came across your ads on Facebook, and I was just drawn in. I think I saw it for like I think it was the first round. I think in October that was the first time I saw it. But I didn't join until the next year, and I joined because I was so drawn in by the idea of niching down and being able to raise my rates and all that good stuff. So that's my journey from there to nowish, and now I'm providing automation services to course creators, doing automation strategy, and I just absolutely love it.
So, just out of curiosity, where did you do your professional dancing?
So I trained at a dance school in London called Laban, and I was there for a few years. I was in London for about 10 years, and then I had my two children.
Okay. What did you hope to achieve when you joined Anatomy of Automation?
I hoped to achieve um, a better way of working. I hope to achieve a way of working that I enjoyed. I hope to achieve the opportunity to raise my rates. And I am confident that I have been able to achieve all of that, which is just amazing.
It is amazing. And to touch on your feeling about, you moved into executive assistance in the traditional world, and based on how you felt in that job when you went into being a general VA, normally people who despise being an admin assistant or an executive in corporate don't tend to like it online either. So the transition, even though you get to work remotely, you then it's like, this is not for me, so I want to do something else. So it was great recognizing that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And it's all about, I want to be present for my children, and what I recognized before when I was working as an executive assistant is that I was bringing a lot of my stress home with me. So I just didn't want to be bringing any stress or any resentment or holding on to any of those bad feelings, even virtually, because I'm still home. So I just wanted to do something that I would actually enjoy and could just do with ease.
Perfect. What
Yeah.
would it mean for you personally and professionally if you were to achieve your why, or when you achieved your why?
So I have achieved my why. I'm still building on my why. I'm still, expanding it now. And what it means is that I'm able to be present for my children. I'm able to be present for myself. I'm able to be um, just happier. I'm able to work less. I'm able to bring in an income. Um, I'm able to choose who I work with. That's one of the things that I definitely picked up from you, Latoya. It's working with people who you are aligned with and who you want to work with, and people that respect boundaries, and incorporating all of those things I learned from you really, really has been so beneficial.
Excellent. And would you say, how livable is your income? Do you find yourself struggling?
At the beginning, when I was, when I was building it, definitely there was a struggle at the beginning when you're just starting and you're trying to find your feet, you're trying to figure out what your offers are, and there was most definitely a struggle then. There was definitely a struggle, but when you just strip it all back and you just start from the beginning and move forward, I'm now in a position where I'm not struggling, and I can actually move forward even more and increase my income because I know what sort of direction I'm going in. So the struggle just isn't there anymore, which is amazing.
Did it help having community support and support within a coaching and whatnot?
Yes, it definitely helped. It just meant that I wasn't just left to consume the material on my own. I was able to ask questions. I was able to listen to other people's questions and your responses to that. And it just has a sort of a feel of accountability as well. You have to keep up with the course if you want to ask questions. These 6 weeks are the opportunity to ask, so it keeps you engaged with the course, and it means that you have to keep up with the course because there's going to be questions, and you don't want to pass up the opportunity to ask those questions. But yes, it was definitely a massive help.
Excellent. How digestible was the content and the Automation Pro method for you as a beginner?
It was really digestible. I really liked that the lessons are quite short,
Mhm.
um, and the way you deliver them, it's very clear. It's very precise. There's no fluff anywhere. So I found that really easy to take in. But I think that the length of the lessons is really key because I've taken courses before where it'll go on for 2 hours and the concentration just isn't there, but because your sessions are short enough to keep that attention span, it means that the information's going in, which I really appreciated.
That was intentional because I do not like long videos at all.
Yeah,
So I was like, I have to keep this where I would watch it myself. So
yeah,
there
yeah.
there was that, keeping the content bite size. How are you using what you've learned?
So I mostly have been providing automation strategy sessions, which I just absolutely loved. I love the planning. I love, providing the strategy to people that can then go and implement this themselves, or they've asked me to implement it, which is amazing. I've worked in multiple different platforms. At the moment, I'm mostly using ConvertKit because that's what I use for myself, and clients seem to be coming to me because I use ConvertKit quite a lot. So yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment.
Perfect. What results have you achieved from the anatomy of automation?
What results I have, being able to raise my rates. I've able to make more money, which is amazing. Um, I, I I've learned so much more now. Um, my working from home feels easy now. I don't get that same feeling that I did before when I was an executive assistant. That stress and anxiety isn't there because I'm doing work that I enjoy. I'm working with people that I like working with and making enough money. So that's the biggest result, definitely.
Excellent. Now, if you had to answer the question, I almost didn't join because, what would you say?
I always knew I was going to join. So that's the thing. I always knew I was going to join. Um, but if there was any small amount of reservation, I think it was, I was completely, drawn in by your copy in your ads. I was drawn in by your YouTube content. I was drawn in by your workshops and things like that. I think the only hesitation, because at that point I hadn't really purchased many online courses, is that feeling of what is it actually going to be once I purchase it. But I was really, really amazed actually when I did purchase what was delivered is exactly what you said would be delivered. And yeah, so it's amazing.
Awesome. My favorite part of working with Latoya and doing the anatomy of automation was.
We've already touched on it a little bit, but it was definitely the 6 weeks. I really enjoyed the 6 week support, the Q and A's. Like I said, it's just having that support, and it's having that accountability that just makes all the difference.
Mhm.
And I loved learning the automation strategy session. I loved that,
Well,
definitely.
that was my favorite to create. That
Yeah.
session is a favorite of mine for sure. Now, what would you tell someone who's thinking about joining the anatomy of automation?
Anybody that's thinking to join the anatomy of automation, I would say, if your gut feeling is to just join, I would say to just join. If you have questions, I would just say to them to message you, because you're no fluff. You will just, you're very transparent. You'll answer the questions. But yeah, ultimately just join, and if not, just message you to get any clarification that you need.
Oh, and I do answer for real, y'all.
Yes, absolutely. You've answered my messages before loads of times.
Now, Telisha, thank you so much for sharing your journey and your story. I want everyone to be able to find you. Where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram. It's Telisha Jade DBS. That is where I spend most of my time. I am on Facebook as well, but I am trying to move more over to just Instagram. So that is where you can find me. I am also on Facebook. It's the same. It's just Telisha Jade, or my Facebook page is Telisha Jade DBS as well.
Excellent. And what type of clients do you enjoy working with, or what type of businesses do you enjoy working with?
I love working with course creators. I love working with done for you service providers, um, consultants, small businesses.
Excellent. Thank you so much again for joining me, Telisha. Can't wait
Thank
to
you
hear
for
your
having
story.
me. Thank you so much.